Get my 6. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the greatest homesteading channel on the planet that's got nothing whatsoever to do with homesteading. Now, as you can see, we're in a different location. I'm down here with my honeybees, feeding my honeybees, and my yellow jackets. That's part of the story. Listen, tomorrow, as of this recording, is election day, and I'm going to vote for ... The title's going to say something like that. I'll wing it. I'm not sure yet, but let me check out my bees and my wasps. Come here, girl. Come here. Come here. So here's the thing about honeybees. They know when they're going to die. And when they know they're going to die, they will actually leave the hive and die outside so nobody has to clean up their mess. It's, oh my gosh, there's so much to bees. But I was down here, and listen, there's a difference between bees and wasps. Right now, we do have some yellow jackets feeding here. I feed my honeybees because their honey storage is very low, and I want to get them through the winter, and they just don't have enough honey. So I started feeding them about a month ago, and I feed them every day. I come down here and spend time with them, and it's been beneficial. It works. They only live for 21 days, and I've been feeding them for more than that, for longer than that, so I know that they're continuing. The queen is continuing to lay eggs, and they're hatching, and the colony is still alive and surviving. And here's some really good news. I am seeing honeybees coming back into the hive when I come down here to feed, and their back legs are laden heavily with pollen. So it worked. I gave them a little bit of help, temporary help, kind of part of what I'm talking about today, and that allowed them to help themselves so that long term they'll be self-sufficient. All right, wow, that sounded almost political, didn't it? Sounded like the welfare system, the American welfare system. It was never meant to be permanent. It was meant to, FDR set it up during the Great Depression. It was supposed to be a temporary fix, but then he died, and the Democrats realized, oh my God, we got something good here. We can get poor people to vote for us forever as long as we keep giving them free stuff. And then it's been politicized. Now, let me get to the meat and the potatoes of this story. Tomorrow is election day. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. I'm going to be brutally honest with you about politics. And I'm going to use these honeybees and wasps who are on this plate eating together as a perfect example to get my point across. I don't ever come out here and talk about politics on this channel because I'm not political. But a lot of people think because I say certain things certain ways that I am. Promise you I'm not. Half the people think, oh, he's got to be like this radical left-wing liberal Democrat kind of guy. I mean, just come on, think about it. Hear me out, as the cool kids say. You know, he's married to an Asian woman. His kid's biracial. Look at this beautiful little honeybee. Oh, she flew away. She was on my hand. Oh, he raises honeybees. Got to be a tree hugger. He's planted 2,000 trees. Look at my shirt. Look, it's like peace and unity and bees and hearts. Got to be a leftist, liberal, socialist, communist. Well, and then you got the other half, see, who think, oh, come on, man. He's a highly decorated combat war veteran. I mean, look, I'm wearing an Army hat. I served, brah. And it wasn't in ROTC in college. It was the real freaking military. I'm a veteran. If you don't have a DD-214, you're not a veteran. You got no right to tell people you were. Of course, we know that, right? It's called stolen valor. So he's a highly decorated combat veteran, lives out in the country. He's one of those post-middle-aged rural white males, you know? Oh, and he works for himself. He doesn't have a job. He just makes videos, and he's one of those self-made millionaire type peoples. You know he's just one of them evil, greedy, nasty Republicans, right? Well, what I'll tell you, brah, is that half the people are right. No, that's just a joke. I don't care. I'm neither. I'm nothing, brah. I just had to make a joke because I have this Facebook page called Sick Twisted Humor. And I appreciate all of you who support us over there. We just went over 1 million fans. It was like a week before Halloween, we hit 1 million. I was like, wow. And I'd planned for years, because that's our first actual standalone, singly owned social media platform that we hit 1 million fans on. And I was going to do this big to-do about it. Pardon the background noise of the car. Yes, I am one of them post-middle-aged rural white guys, and I live out in the country, but we have like one car an hour go by. That's why I planted these hedges. Let me show you this. I plant every tree you see behind me, I planted. Oh my gosh, is he one of these socialist liberals? Look, there's my, oh, what am I doing? I'm not mowing grass. I use that as my UTV because I ain't spending $15,000 on something that'll just do what this thing does. Oh, he's got to be one of them nasty, greedy Republicans. He's keeping his money instead of spending it, putting it back in the economy. Nope. I'm just not stupid with money. So anyway, tomorrow's election day, and I was down here looking at these bees. Let me tell you, this is how it goes. First, let me explain the gear. The shirt, I got it at a road race. I ran a 5K a couple of years ago when I was trying, making a comeback. I watched the George Foreman movie, and I thought, man, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to come back and be the greatest runner ever as an old man. Didn't work. But hey, I got in shape and I lost 30 pounds. So anyway, and I got this shirt, whatever. And then this hat, yeah, one of my best good buddies ever, Gary. What's up, Gary, if you're watching? Gave me this hat, and I just, sometimes I wear it. Yeah, doesn't mean either. This doesn't mean I'm a Republican, and this doesn't mean I'm a Democrat, because I'm neither. Listen, but I will vote. You know why? Because if they took that right away from me, I'd be pissed off about it. Oh, wow, go figure. Is he maybe a libertarian? Maybe. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. This plate has 1,000... You know what? They're not going to stay with me. We're friends. Come here, guys. Come here, guys. Let's show the people. Let's show the people. All right, so look. There's like 1,000 honeybees, and there's probably 20 or 30 yellow jackets, which are wasps. They're not bees, okay? FYI, if these things were to disappear, life on Earth as we know it would be gone in 4 years. It would only take 4 years for all of us to just not exist anymore if the pollinators are gone. So anyway, you know what? Everybody should do this. You can get a nuke with bees for $200. These boxes are like $100 on Amazon. Just $300. Put them out there. You can have a bee guy come set them up for you, or a bee girl. A lot of women are into this. Just let them set them up and then just leave them alone. Let the people. You don't have to care for them. But more people should do this. Oh, I hear. Oh, he's got to be a liberal Democrat. He's talking about save the bees. No, listen. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to get to it. So I just showed you those bees. You see them living together in harmony. They're getting along. It's November, of course. Tomorrow's election day. They're yellow jackets, by the way. I Googled them a couple of years ago because I was going around killing every nest I found because they stung my wife 7 times one day. And so I just launched an all. This is what I'm like, brah. You knock down my towers, I will eliminate your civilization. Oh, he must be one of these greedy, old, nasty Republicans. No, bro, listen. You know what's important to me is my family and football. Yes. Politics? Pfft, really? So, if I were to take this plate right now, let me explain to you something about yellow jackets, which are wasps, and honeybees. Okay, so you saw them. They're eating together. I'm going to prove this. I want to specifically show you, make sure you see the yellow jackets. Where are they? Here's a bunch of them. Look right here. Right here, you see all those yellow jackets? And they're not hurting me. You see those? And they're eating in harmony with the honeybees. Now, if I were to take that plate, which you've seen I've lifted twice already, they're not fighting me, but if I were to take that plate, and if I were to just fling all those bees and wasps off there, if I were to just shake it up a little bit, enough to startle them, because listen, they're docile creatures. They never sting me. They know my voice. They know the sound of my UTV, i.e. zero-turn lawnmower. Because when I come down here, you will see like 0 bees. You might see 1 or 2 coming and going, but when I come down here and I always say, hey honeybees, they come flooding out of this box because they know I'm going to feed them. Listen, a lot of pet owners don't like me because I'm a realist. Listen, you're going to think I'm a nasty, dirty, conservative, Republican jerk after I tell you this. I really bought into a philosophy called Objectivism. It was a philosophy created by Ayn Rand, who is an author, probably most notable for, well, definitely most notable notable for Atlas Shrugged, and The Fountainhead was her other 2,000-page long novel. She was a conservative, anti-communist, pro-capitalist type. But that doesn't mean that, that's what I am. But she came up with this philosophy called Objectivism. And it pretty much states, well, here's the beauty of it. When you're an objectivist, you make decisions based upon logic versus emotion. Like Dr. Spock in Star Trek. He was always saying, that's illogical. Sir, that's illogical. And he didn't have any emotions. That's kind of a cold fish type thing. You don't want to be like that unless it's a decision that needs to be made. And the more important it is, the better you leave your emotions out of it. That's why most people suck with money. That's why most people suck with relationships, because they let their emotions think for them rather than logic. So anyway, here's what I'm getting at. If I were to take that plate and just shake it, just enough to startle them, their natural instinct would be like all of us. You're walking through a dark parking lot, you're going to your car, and someone jumps out and grabs you. It's either fight or flight. Now, most people are female body parts, reproductive body parts, but there is that 3% of us who, dude, you touch me in a parking lot, you better have about 20 other guys with you, or you're not leaving that parking lot. Okay? So most of these bees, you better have 30 buddies with you, or you're not leaving the parking lot. Okay, so these bees and wasps are the same. You shake that plate, they get startled, they're going to fight. They're going to, because that's their instinct. It's the job of the drones and the workers to protect the queen, to protect the hive, to protect the colony. Honeybees, they don't have a barbed stinger. So they do have a barbed stinger. So when they sting you once and they try to pull it out, the barb stays in your flesh and it pulls their guts out and they die. Wasps, like yellow jackets, hornets, they don't have barbed stingers. So when they sting you, they can do it over and over and over and over. That's why you might get stung by one yellow jacket, but you think you got stung 3 times because it's like bam, 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 then he flies away. So, or she. Probably a she, okay? So, biz niches. So anyway, remember, Sick Twisted Humor, it's all a joke. Thanks for helping us hit 1 million. Supposedly, these guys don't get along. These girls don't get along. Yet here they are eating on the same plate. Eating on the same plate. I mean, look at that. Gosh, I want to show you this. Look at all those yellow jackets right there. Eating with the honeybees and the honeybees eating. See that? All right. Now, if I were to take that plate and if I were to shake it up, give it a good shake, they'd come back, they'd start killing each other. Now, the yellow jackets would just go sting, 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 sting. The honeybees, they have to attack in a group. Here's how they kill wasps and other insects that might attack their hive. They will swarm them. Hey, if my football team's watching this, particularly the defense, listen up, because this is how you have to tackle, okay? We're 5-0, by the way. 5-0, undefeated, just won our game this weekend, 31-0. Daniel had 3 touchdown passes. He threw for over 100 yards, rushed for 10. I can't say any of the other kids' names because they're minors. I wish I could, because we have the most amazing young people on our team you would ever imagine. Let me tell you, for those of you who are worried about the future because the youth are so screwed up, you're not seeing the youth I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with some winners. I'm dealing with some alphas who have supportive families. Their parents are involved in their lives. They have conversations with them. And our future's bright. That's what I'll tell you, okay? So here's the deal. The honeybees have to swarm the wasp or the yellow jacket. They'll be like 10 or 12, get on that yellow jacket. Defense. When that ball crosses that line of scrimmage, all of you go there. Swarm, 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 and tackle as a group. Don't stand there and watch for your buddy to do it. And if he doesn't, I'll get. And our team doesn't do that. A lot of teams do that, and that's why we beat them. Our defense has allowed less points this season than any team in the league. We've had 5 games. We've only had 18 points scored against our defense. One team scored 12. One team scored 6. 3 teams didn't score. And those 2 teams that scored, they're sending their coaches and stuff out to our games to watch us because they're trying to figure out how to beat us in the playoffs. Ain't going to happen, brah. So anyway, So those honeybees, those 8 or 12 honeybees will jump on that wasp, and they flex the muscles they use to like flap their wings, and it creates heat. And basically, the way they kill their enemy is by producing that heat. Hey, girl. And the enemy dies from heat, and it also kills the honeybees. So if I were to shake that tray right now, that's what they do. They would just start doing that because they would view it as, well, there's a threat. Somebody's threatened us. There's something out there I need to be afraid of. Let's go kill it. Well, who are we going to kill? Well, their natural instinct says kill those that don't look like us. Hey, that wasp, that yellow jacket doesn't look like the rest of the people in the hive, so let's go kill it because that must be who shook the plate. I shook the plate. As you can see, everybody's living in perfect harmony, like ebony and ivory, like Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney on their beautiful keyboard. Oh, Lord, why can't we? Yeah, I'll vote tomorrow. Who am I going to vote for? Flip a coin. I don't care. I literally don't care. Because, listen, pardon me. I keep feeling stuff, and I realize it's bees crawling all over me. Because I'm like the queen. They're like, that's the guy that gives us the food. Oh, this is what pet owners don't like. Your pets do not love you. Your pets you think they're showing affection to you, but they're not. They're excited because they know you're the ones that feed them. And I probably just lost 1,000 subscribers. Dog people especially hate when I say that, but it's true. I understand nature. I understand animals. I was a science major in college. I taught biology. I understand this stuff. I know where food comes from. Anyway, more people should. Because, listen, ignorance is politicizable. Ignorance is profitable. When people don't know the facts, you can go out there and make money off of them. So guess what? The guy that's shaking the plate doesn't want you to know the facts. If I were to shake that plate, these guys would start killing each other. Though neither the honeybees nor the wasps shook the plate. I was the guy that shook the plate. I'm their enemy, but I know a way to get them fighting against each other. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Yeah. Our slave masters, our enslavement masters, whatever the politically correct term is these days, they know this. That's why they're the ones shaking the plate. I'm going to use as an example a man who, I'm going to give him credit. And this is probably the last person in the world you'd ever think I'd give credit to. But it's because it's appropriate. It's my ex-father-in-law. Yes, the father of my first wife. He was a college professor. He had a PhD. And at one point, he was the interim president of his college while they were trying to get a replacement. They wanted him to do it, but he was ready to retire. I mean, he was offered on a platter the opportunity to be a president of a state university back in Appalachia. But he was like, no, I want to retire. This guy, he's completed more credit hours at WVU, West Virginia University, than anybody in history of that college. Until now, he holds a record. I mean, he was trying to stay out of Vietnam is what he was doing. So he stayed in college to get that gentleman's deferment. You know, remember, if you could afford to go to college, you got to go to college. But if you couldn't, you went to war during the Vietnam era. But he finally did get drafted because he took there wasn't any classes left to take. And he went off and worked in the Peace Corps to stay overseas to try to stay out of the war. But when he came back, they got him. Let me tell you, I'm a combat veteran. I fought in Iraq. I went willingly, but that does not for a minute make me any better than that guy. That man served in Vietnam, and my hat is off to him. I doubt he's watching, but if he is, I think he's still alive. I don't even know. He'd be like 100 if he was. Thank you for your service, okay? Then he funded my ex-wife's divorce and whatever. Just crap happened. He had money and I didn't. I do now. Come at me, brah. Yeah. So, yeah, money. A lot of people think it buys stuff. I've learned the hard way through life. What it buys is safety and security. I don't care about stuff. Keep my family. You try to take this one from me, I will F you up. My lawyer costs more than your lawyer. Good luck. Actually, I have a CPA that has a law degree from Harvard who, well, whatever. So I was a financial planner for years. I was a stockbroker. I did that for 8 years. And this guy, he said, well, maybe I'll roll my 403B over to you. See, y'all know the term 401k, but when you work for a state agency or a government agency, you get what's called a 403B. It's very similar. The laws are a little bit different, but basically most 403Bs have annuities inside of them, which have much higher money management fees versus IRAs, 401ks, which are just mutual funds, which don't have the extra 1.5% attached to it because it's not an insurance product. Basically, it's the way the insurance agencies steal money from people who work for the government. They get an extra 1.5% off of them that they're not getting from people in the private sector and blah, blah. I told you I was a financial planner for 8 years, brah. Yeah, I know my stuff. So anyway, he's like, well, I want to set an appointment. You know, it was an election year. It was when Bush was running against, what's that guy's name? He invented the internet. What's that guy's name that invented the internet? He also invented global warming. Damn it, what's his name? That whole carbon footprint thing. I can't even, well, he lost, so I can't remember his name. Listen, guys, this is proof. My football team, if you're watching, no one remembers who finished second, because second is the first loser. I remember George W. Bush won the election. And again, I'm not saying I voted for him or I didn't. I'm just trying to remember the time. So this guy says, well, it's an election year, so this is very important. So we need to have an actual appointment in your office. I'm like, okay. So he comes in for this appointment. I'm wearing my tie. I'm thinking maybe he's trying to help me feel good about being a new, young, recent college graduate with his first real job. You know, he's coming in. So he comes in and he places this like 800-page economics textbook on my freaking desk, right? And he pushes it over to me and he says, once you've read that, we'll discuss business. And you can talk to me about money and investing. Well, I looked at that book and I thought, man, I didn't read a single textbook for the 6 years I was in college. Maybe that's why it took me 6 years to graduate instead of 4. Well, I'm certainly not going to read that now. So I pushed it back across the desk to him and I said, those who can, do. Those who can't, teach. Those who can't teach college. And he lost his crap. And he sits down and he's screaming and he's yelling. He was a leftist. Wow. I mean, like you didn't know. I mean, college professor, right? PhD. Bitching about how nobody can make money when a Republican's in office and George Bush is going to win this election and there's no way I'll be able to make money for the next 4 years at least. And if I don't read that book, I'm not going to understand this and all this and blah, 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 blah. I said, listen, and I said his name. I'm going to say his name here. I said, listen. If you, honest to God, think, and folks, hear me out, not just my football team, but all you grown-ups listening. If you, honest to God, think that you can't make money because a certain political party is in power, you don't understand finances. I told him that, and he looked at me. And I thought, man, this dude's going to punch me. And he was a big guy. He was a big guy. He says, oh, my God, you're right. And so he had this come to Jesus moment with finances, at least. Because listen, yes, each party might change the rules. They might change the laws. They might change the tax code. Well, for those of us who understand finances, then we just change our behaviors and we change what we do. Oh, and you're not going to let me make money over here anymore? Okay, I'll go make it over here. I mean, it's like this channel, for example. I'm going to use real numbers, okay? We used to make between 15 and 20 grand a month on this channel consistently. We did it for years. And then they called me a few years back and they says, hey, we know how you can double your income. We want to help you double your income. You've grown this channel to 300,000 people and we didn't even help you. It was all grassroots. We want to help. I said, all right, sure. How do you help? And they're like, okay, you got to start asking for super chats. That's where I ask you to send me money. I'm like, what? Man, these people watching my videos, they don't got no money. I mean, some of them do, I'm sure, but you know, they like to listen. They like to hear me talk. They feel like they can relate to me. I'm not going to ask these people to send me money. And they're like, oh, come on, just do it. You got 300,000 subscribers. If everybody sends you just $1, that's another 300,000 a year. I'm like, I'm already making more than that. I don't need what I'm making. I mean, trust me, the IRS takes half of it. But even with what's left, it's like, Look at this. I drive a lawnmower instead of pissing away. What's that? Is that an adult apple juice? Go figure. That's just bee food, brah. FYI, the community guidelines and standards say I can't be seen drinking this during the filming of a video, or the video will be unmonetized. This is for the bees. Here. See that? All right. YouTube, owned by Google. Well, I just refuse to do it because that's not my style. I made a couple videos, asked for super chats. A lot of people are like, you're an a-hole. I've watched you for free for years. Now you're asking for money. I'm like, yeah, what'd you think was going to happen, right? Well, that's exactly. So I told them I'm not going to do it. Guess what? They stopped recommending my videos. We stopped going viral. Because, of course, they're thinking, well, if we cut off his money source, he'll start begging for money. He'll start e-begging, which is like the thing in social media, right? Well, I was like, well, I guess they're doing that, so I'll e-beg. So I'll go to my viewers and try to get them money. I'm piss half of them off, but some of them will send me, hey, that's what they were trying to do. I was like, shake my plate. Go ahead, bitches, biz niches. I went over to Facebook, reactivated an old page, Sick Twisted Humor, had 411,000 followers on it 2 years ago. We just went over 1 million, and I make multiple times more money on Facebook, and I have for the last 2 years since this happened, than I ever made on YouTube. Because no one tells me what to do, number one. And number two, I understand finances. So to say, oh, you can't make money, Democrats are in office. Oh, you can't make money, Trump's in office. He's going to put tariffs on everything. Can't make money. If you honestly believe you can't make money because of which political party is in power, you don't understand finances. It's not about politics. It's about you're stupid, at least with money. And listen, it goes beyond that. It goes to personal relationships. You know, when Trump ran against Crooked Hillary. Oh, he said Crooked Hillary. He must be. No, that's just what I always heard her called. Of course, before that, it was like you didn't want to piss her off, or you might be found in a brush pile somewhere, right? While they were helping Bill get to office. Man, some of the state trooper stories I've heard from state troopers who have never gone public with their stories. So, from down in Arkansas. So anyway, this crap doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of life. If you focus on what's important, which for me is my family and football and the bees and the trees, I don't care about that stuff. Now, I will go vote for who? I don't know. You guys tell me in the comment section who I should vote for, and I'll go with the majority. If more of you say Trump, I'll vote for Trump. If more of you, and I swear, say Kamala Harris, I'll vote for her. I don't care because it doesn't matter. I understand that I am the master and commander of my own ship. That crap doesn't matter. Politics? And listen, there are people, this is what I was going to say, the guy that gave me this hat, his wife, who's a wonderful woman. Hey, Lori, shout out to you if you're watching. She told us this tragic story when it was Trump running against Crooked Hillary. She had posted something on Facebook. She wasn't one of these huge supporters of whoever she... Listen, this is so asinine. I cannot even remember who she voted for. It was either Trump or Crooked Hillary. It was one of those two. And she posted it, and she had a woman that she had been friends with for more than 20 years. That woman's daughter used to babysit her older son, something like that. She sent her a message and said, OMG, I had no clue, no idea you supported, and it was whichever. I don't even remember. It was either Trump or Crooked Hillary. It's one of those two. But we can't be friends anymore. And that woman hasn't talked to her since. And that crushed our friend's soul. Is like, I loved her. She was one of, but because of something, listen, if I shook that plate, they'd kill each other. But they weren't the ones that shook the plate. It was me. And there are so many people that just don't get it. And it's like, you know, you get these leftists, oh, you know, if you don't think like me, you're just ignorant. You didn't go to college. I went to college. Spent 6 years there, brah. Didn't read any of the textbooks, but married some girl that was like the daughter of the almost president. I mean, dude, I got the t-shirt and child support payments out of it, right? I'm not ignorant because I don't think like you, okay? But then you got those on the other side who will say, well, if you don't think like me, you hate America. You know, the alt-right conservatives, whatever, you're a communist, you don't believe in freedom and baseball and apple pie and all that crap. Hey, I don't think like you either, but I'm certainly not a communist, dude. I love free enterprise. Man, 2024, I use this phone I'm making this video with to make more money in a day than I ever made in a month, like my first 5 years out of college. I don't know why everybody's not doing it. I think maybe a lot of young people who like grew up with the technology might be, but I mean, it's like you going to work to work a job and be just over broke every day and you still can't pay your bills. That's why you're pissed off. It's not about which political party's in office. It's because you're stupid. You are watching the train of opportunity, the biggest train of opportunity in the history of mankind pass you by. You could be sitting at home on your phone. We had some kids spend the night with our son Daniel this weekend, and I was in my hammock on the porch. I said, look, kids, this is my office, because I actually have a set of shelves there, because that's where I work all day. And the one kid, he knew I was an influencer. He goes, do you actually make videos from your hammock? And I said, well, yeah, I actually started last month, because here's why. I was sitting there one day, and I make all these reels on Facebook, and we get 50 million views a month. It's incredible what we're doing on Facebook. Oh, and we're on Instagram now. I wish I'd have done this earlier. Just 2 months ago, I started an Instagram account, Sick Twisted Humor. Thank you if you're following it. We just hit 50,000 on that. So it's like, I was sitting there, and I was thinking, the hardest part of my day is getting up out of my hammock, putting on a flannel shirt over my bare chest or whatever, long sleeve t-shirt if it's a little cooler, putting on a UVA hat, going out in front of the pond and talking for 12 seconds to make a reel, put it on Facebook and make a fortune. That's how hard I have it. And I was in that hammock one day and I thought, what if I made a reel from the hammock? Is it possible? So anyway, I started making reels from the hammock for like all last month. And it was like, made more than I would need to go buy a new truck. It's from my hammock. So this is why, and I'm not bragging, this is what I'm saying. Those of you that bitch and complain and gripe constantly about your job, how much you hate it, it makes you miserable. Why are you doing it? There's the internet, there's social media, there's so much. What was it I was thinking about? This is how easy it is. Birds' nests. I put a bird's nest. You probably saw it in the video a few days ago. I go around here. Hummingbirds will never re-nest in the same nest. They make these cute little nests like this. I get 8 or 10 of them when they're gone, and I sell them on Etsy for $25. That's $200 or $300, and it takes less than an hour. I used to go around behind the state when they would clear the right-of-ways, the power lines, and I would take any cherry or walnut limbs they cut, and I'd come and I'd just take my bandsaw, cut them into squares. I would make $3,000 to $5,000 a month on eBay selling turning blocks, wooden turning blocks. And this was 20 some years ago. It's like, man, God invented the internet, or that one guy that George Bush beat in the election. Damn it, who is it that invented the internet? Bob Dole? Dan Quayle? No. Hey, football kids, I can't remember because he lost. No one remembers the losers. Remember that. And if you, honest to God, think that a political party dictates your life and your future, you're a loser. Because they don't. And I'm going to prove it one last time. And I'm going to go get ready for football practice. Look at this. Perfect harmony. Honeybees and yellow jackets. Supposedly mortal enemies. But as long as no one's shaking the place or shaking the plate, they're getting along just fine. So as a matter of fact, maybe I won't even vote at all tomorrow. Doesn't matter. I don't care. There's one race. I know it's not the Democrat race or the Republican race. It's one race. It's called the human race. We're all flesh and blood. We all bleed red. That's something that those of us who are combat veterans understand. Crap happened. I didn't care if the guy beside me was black. I didn't care if he was gay. I knew he had my back and I was coming home, and I did. I made it. So did they. Think about who's shaking your plate. It's not your neighbor. It's not your long-term friend. It's not your in-laws, whether you like them or not. It's a system. And if you think whichever party is in control has any effect on you, you're wrong. You're already enslaved, because like George Carlin said, the left wing and the right wing belongs to the same damn bird. They're flying your show, and the only way to get free is to do just that. Get free. Stop playing the game. When they shake the plate, like YouTube did me. Okay, YouTube, you want me to eBay to make an extra 300 grand? Screw you. I'm making it on Facebook. More than that. More than that. Because I control my own destiny. Not an employer, not a corporation, not a government, and not a political party. If more people did the same, more people would be free. See you for more next time for the most amazing homesteading channel on the internet that has nothing to do with homesteading whatsoever. Homesteading off the grid. I don't want to work. I just want to bang on the drum all day. I don't want to work. I just want to bang on the drum all day.